Yo, what is going on, everybody? Today we're gonna go over a platinum replay now. So we're starting to go up the ranks. I'm in the middle of editing the how to get through platinum episode. It is taking a while. I've got a lot of things on and also birthdays going on at the moment. But what I thought I'd do is switch the order here. So what we'll do is we'll actually start with the 1s and 2s replay in the future, and we'll actually go over what was the problem and how we can use the system to improve. But right now I've already got that episode scripted. It's basically nearly finished. So I figured we'd get these two out, the 1v1 and a 2v2 replay analysis in platinum before we release the episode, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, so we're doing Collector today. Collector is the guy who actually created the Rocket League battle card bot, so we can actually play Rocket League battle cards now in the Discord, which is amazing. But he's been hard stuck Plat for a while. He's right close to Diamond, just never been able to push through, and unfortunately doesn't have a controller anymore. But still, it's not always about mechanics. You know how I feel about that sort of stuff. A lot of the time it is about what are we doing. I love the kickoff. Love the kickoff. This we didn't need to do though. This is like you got Ninja Sixth Sense here. You take the kickoff and you're like, I already know where it's going, so I'm going to look away. It would be nice to be looking at that and possibly following it up. Maybe turning here, following up, because for all we know, that ball could, and I'm not saying it will, I'm just saying it could hit this inside of the post and actually bounce out for an easy shot on target. We just don't know. We don't know what is happening once that bounces, so we need to be a little bit closer. We need to be looking at the ball, in my opinion, and sort of taking a path across it. And if it does bounce this way, we might even be able to win the race to the boost here and get a boost off. So just always keep your eye on the ball after kickoff unless you're 100% sure, because you're actually ahead of Fuji here. So if you would have, instead you would have come here, grab. Okay, now I know where it's going, so I'm going to flip here. I'm going to flip here, and I'm going to grab the boost. And right now, we're going to have probably a pretty big boost advantage, and we're going to be on the ball. So it's just about staying closer to the ball in that one. This is good because it allows you to fake. Not bad, and I'm not going to be over the top, you know. I'm not going to pick on like, oh, you should have been a centimetre more forward. If the general gist is there, that's fine. Good save too. And I know a lot of people are saying, God, these episodes, man, they're quite long. They should get shorter. They should get shorter as we go because there should be less mistakes. Okay, so right here, we're speeding the ball up. That's a heavy touch. That's just a mechanical thing. It's heavy touch because now we're pushing the ball more towards our opponent. So it's going to go to them faster than we can get a reshot on it. So always think that. If I hit the ball, is it going to be easier for my opponent to get the next hit as opposed to me? If it is, don't make that hit. Take your time a little bit more. Maybe push it more laterally here. You know what I'm going to say? So more of a lateral dribble. A softer touch here. And then maybe look to block behind the ball on 50s. Or if you get an opportunity, bounce dribble, hook shot. There's just more options there. It looks like you try to do it, but you do what a lot of people do, and that is over-accelerate the ball when you've got space. So out of the defensive area, sort of see that over-acceleration, just didn't need to do it. You could have actually slowed down and tried to make the ball go slower. You don't always have to hit the ball, by the way. So if you are in this situation, right, you don't have to hit this ball. You don't have to hit it. Let it come down off the wall and then just take it to the left-hand side. And this is the big thing. I hear a lot of people say to me, I don't get space for hook shots. You can't get space for hook shots in gold, platinum, diamond, and so on and so forth. You can hear him on SSL. I mean, even recently, Raidmeister hit it against apparently Jack and then faked him with it. Just take your time. You don't need to hit. You do not need to advance the ball until you get the opportunity to give yourself when you got possession, to give yourself a chance at running some offense. That's not running offense. That's giving the ball away. So you could have done a lateral dribble there. You've now got possession back. So here is another perfect opportunity for something, but we're not looking at the ball. We're not looking at the ball. Now, I see what you've done. I understand what you've done. You've come out of ball cam here, Collector. You're like, right, I want to scoop this ball, so I'm going to come out of ball cam. Look how far away you are from the ball. We don't need to come out of ball cam until we're way closer to the ball, because we always want to have a vision. The ultimate vision is that we can see the ball and our opponent. And that's why when we carry, we actually come out of ball cam. It's to allow us to stay looking forward so we can see what our opponent does. As opposed to if we're in ball cam, we're just going to be looking like this. We've got no vision. So here, this is way too far away to take off ball cam. Even though it does allow this, you just have no data about that until later on. So we don't have data on our opponent until later. So look at this. Do you know what I mean? So we've got no... So you don't know that Rob's going to do that. Stay in ball cam here until you're much closer to the ball. That would have been the idea there. You could have gone for a low 50 on that or something else. because generally pops are dangerous. So you really only want to pop the ball if you get the right amount of space. Anytime the opponent's you just didn't have chance to react to this because you didn't keep your eye on the opponent. But anytime the opponent's challenging the ball, the last thing you want to do is pop the ball like this, because as we covered in the last video, look at the hitbox of your car and look at the hitbox of their car. Their hitbox is higher than your car, and you're jabbing the ball up, and their hitbox is higher, so they're going to go more through the ball. If they would have jumped higher and timed this right, that could have gone straight to net. Always need our eye on the opponent, and ideally, if we're in the correct area, our eyes on the ball will give us the eyes on the opponent. That's the ultimate. Nice little recovery here. Well, this isn't bad. I mean, this isn't great, but it isn't bad. You've done a half flip there. I mean, it's mechanical. Ideally, you would have stopped that coming across. Like instead of like backflipping here, just sort of turn this way, and as it comes here, catch it, or just sort of nullify it against the wall here and grab the boost. This is, again, just a little bit of giving your opponent too much space and focusing on unnecessary mechanics. Like, yeah, look, everyone loves half flips and stuff like that, but sometimes the default shouldn't be right. The ball's going to probably end up going behind me on half flip, because if we do that, now we're actually facing in a real bad direction for this, because the ball's coming across and out. We're in a bad direction. If we literally just took it simple and just literally watch what you wanted to do here, we'll go 50%, so it gives me a chance. Okay, just turn the car, and then we can come here. It maybe hit it or something. Ideally, we catch it, but what we don't want to do is we don't want to let a ball bounce right in front of the net like this. You're lucky he missed. You've got to think here. You know, we always talk about angles to net. Look at the space you're covering now, because there's no angle to net, right? Because the ball's right in front of your net and it's like dead straight on, it's bouncing. Look at what we have to aim for, and look at the size of your car. Look at all of this free space. This should be a guaranteed goal. Unfortunately, Rob hits the crossbar, but this is a guaranteed goal. We don't want to do this. We never want to not challenge a ball like this. We always want to do something. Either one, ideally, first is always prevention. You always want to prevent bad situations before they get worse. Two, we need to be going to this, but you couldn't because you're half flipped. Even if you did a normal backflip, you would have got to this. So just keep that in mind. If you did a normal backflip, let's just look at this again, because I know how much people love their mechanics. Right, imagine we just do a backflip, right? We're going to end up in the exact same spot now, but we're going to be facing this way. So I do a backflip. Where are we? I'm here. I put my boost on, I come, and I hit the ball. So there's many different things we could do, but everyone's default now is to use a half flip, okay? The idea of these mechanics, guys, is to help us. They're to help us, not hinder us. So if you're using a half flip just because, you know, hey man, my half flips are good, why aren't I ranking up? Because you're not using them correctly. They're meant to be for situations that will give you an advantage. This is not going to give you an advantage using a half flip. A backflip is better because our nose is facing to challenge the ball, because we don't want to have these balls bouncing across the net like this. I mean, this is so dangerous. You can see that you've got no chance in hell of saving that if it was on target. Now right here though, I'm hoping you catch this and dribble it in, but this is the ultimate. You've managed to make them outplay themselves here. You went for the shot and it's just off, okay? Now I'm not opposed to you taking this shot. I'm really not. But in a situation like this, it might be better to just do a little single jump and not actually flip into the ball. So right here, okay, just single jump if you don't feel you can catch it. Just literally a single jump. And the reason I say that is because it gives you more control. So you can single jump. You're not going to mess up the flip. Because imagine if you're going to flip into this, you might accidentally do a kind of a diagonal one by accident. Clip it that way. Do you know what I mean? You may not get a perfect front flip. You may not even be in the position for a front flip. So just by doing a single jump, boosting, and tapping it gently, what we do is we move the ball. Even if we misclip it, we're moving the ball forward, and we're also keeping forward momentum. So even if we happen to hit the ball here, we're going to hit it forward, but slow enough that we can still land, get around, and give ourselves a shot that's closer to the net. The closer we can get to the net on our shot, the bigger the percentage is. Why is that? Well, if the ball is here, right by the net, and I want to shoot to here, okay, let's just say, for example, If I'm a couple of percent off, I'm still hitting it. I'm still hitting it. I'm a couple percent off, that's fine. If I'm here and I want to hit the same spot, if I'm a couple of percent off, which is here, right? But then you got to consider, well, it's not just it's going off that much. This goes off all the way, so it would be off target. So 1% here, because it's going the length of the map, that adds up. Whereas in front of the net, it's not as bad. So by just doing a single jump and tapping it, even if it doesn't go in line to net, we can then take a shot, but it will be higher percentage naturally because it will be closer to net. So never forget that. It will be higher percentage if it's closer to net. You've got more of a chance of fluffing up and getting on target from closer than you have from further away. Keep that in mind, guys. Okay, so here, in my opinion, I mean, this is something I use all the time. Anytime I get a free ball like this, I will single jump into that and tap it. If you single jump and tap it in the same spot you have, it's just going to move to the side and you can just drive around and get a shot on. But because you flipped into it, it's now too far away. Okay, so that's just a little tip that'll make converting goals so much easier in those situations. Okay, I like this fake inside shadow now. This is interesting. And you did a lot of things good here. Okay. I would have liked to have seen... Yeah, this is nice. This, I feel you're backing off a little bit too much. So, they've got the ball's dead here. So, stop. The ball's dead. Stop driving. Stop driving. Because the ball's dead, you see? And what do I mean by that? They can't do anything with this. They will not be able to get the ball on their car now. They can only push it. If they can only push a ball, they can only go one way. They can only go one way because all we got to do is look at their nameplate. Right, so let's do it from what we should have done here. We're here. All right, let's block this. Let's turn here. Look, I'm right close. When I could have challenged all the way here. When I feel I'm ready, right, okay, I've literally lured them to here. These are the spots you want to go for it because you want to shadow close when they're pushing it because you know they can't do anything. They also know they can't do anything, so they're going to try and create an angle. Let's look at this from Rob's perspective, and we're actually going to be able to break this down. He realizes, I can only push the ball. I want to set up some offense. So what is he doing to set up offense? Look what he's doing, guys. What is he doing to set up offense? I'm going to tell you the answer. He's taking his car from behind the ball. His car is now at the side of the ball. Do you see that? Therefore, if we challenge, we have nothing to worry about here because there's nothing behind the ball. So if we hit this ball, it's going to go center. We can probably go here. This is why when you're doing a push, I always suggest just pushing and doing single jumps in situations you can't get space. If you can get space, then you do want to try and hook it. Now, the thing with this is they only get space if we give them space because we know they're pushing. So right here, we can park our car. We can literally just park our car. Now, let's look at what would have happened if we did. The ball comes to us. Our nose is still facing forward, by the way. So now I'm just going to drive across here. I'm waiting. I'm here. Okay. And then, boom. I'm going to challenge into it. So that's something you could have done here. I just think you're backing off a bit too much. And then after that, it becomes a game of timing. Because we backed off too much, we let him get around the ball. And that allows what? That allows a scoop to the carry. And that's where danger lies. We have the whole green belt system there. The flicks, the pops, the air dribbles. So in that situation right here, slam your brakes on backflip. And that's a high backflip, by the way. So that is a hold jump, then jump. Not just a ba-bam. That's a boom, bam. It's a little bit different. Ba-bam, no. Bump, bam, yes. A little bit longer we hold it. Always think that bump, bam. That is the way you want to do that. And that is why he gets the goal there. So a couple of things defensively. It should have been, in my opinion, 1-0 right now. And you can just see how those little things really do add up. Not a bad kickoff again. A little bit late on the jump, in my opinion. So this is good. We're late jumping. So we're actually hitting the bottom of the hitbox. And what would have happened if Rob was a little bit faster? He would have dunked you because he would have been higher on the hitbox. Just like when we're pushing the ball. This is why pushing the ball can be dangerous. And that's why I recommend staying behind it and doing single jumps to give yourself a nice hitbox and a bit of a cushion as well. So right there, yeah, that would have been dangerous if Rob challenged earlier. But because he didn't, you actually got away with that. But that was a little bit low on the kickoff. Okay, well, I like that. I like that a lot. Simple. Okay, you went around the ball here, and then you just shot it to the front post. Yeah, really nice little cut in. I don't know if you did that on purpose, but whenever someone does an inside-out shadow, first thing you want to look to do is either if you can just whack it really hard. So basically, Rob's on the opposite side looking at an inside-out shadow here. And what I mean by that, if you didn't know what that is, I might make a video on it in the future, but basically, he's inside as opposed to outside shadowing. He's inside shadowing, okay? So whenever you see someone inside shadow, there's two things you want to do. Either one, belt the ball as hard as you can into this area before they actually have a chance to get set up, and try and do it off rhythm. You know, people need a second setup. Or the next thing is, yeah, take it this way to force them to have to make a turn. And what happens is, because their nose is this way, they end up turning into the middle here. Can you see that? Let me change the color. Let's go white. So they'll come sort of here and they'll turn face this way. But by the time they're trying to get around, you've already gone behind them and slid the ball in. So I like how you went this way and then actually played it to the front post. It was like a double fake. I don't know how intentional that was. No disrespect, I just don't know if that was an intention of you reacting or that was just what you were going to do no matter what. Because always remember, guys, we want to react to our opponent's defense. So whatever their defending does, we go, okay, how can I put them in a weaker position? And that's hopefully what this will be covering, is sort of defensive philosophies and how to react to them on their defense. Okay, so look at this. Same thing, we did the front flip. This time we're going to get punished for it. So again, we're too low on the ball's hitbox, and this time Rob's had a standard speed kickoff, which means as we go in, you end up getting dunked because you've gone too low, and that means you push the ball up and you're essentially creating a ramp, so you're always going to lose a kickoff. So I always say, guys, never, ever don't jump on a kickoff. Always jump on the kickoff, on the contact with the ball. Even if it's just a standard single jump, just at least do something. That's a good bump. Okay, fair enough, there was a bump there. Yeah, I was going to say, keep your eye on the ball. So there was a bump that prevented you getting boost. Good patience, right? I mean, this one, yeah, you can be patient like this. Again, he's directly behind the hitbox of the ball, so he can only put it in like one area. You can see his nameplate, so we know exactly where he's going to go. Looks like you were ready, because obviously what his goal here is to try and play it to the open area. So he's a little bit off on the shot, but also to try and sneak as close as possible. So yeah, this was all right. I mean, again, with the bump and stuff, that wasn't too bad. I don't mind this. Okay, so shooting's a thing here for yourself. That was just, so you're playing catch up here. So a shot like this, you're coming across and you're trying to air roll it on, but you're reaching. See how you're reaching to hit that ball? The ball's bouncing a little bit too fast compared to your car, and it's still not bouncing fast. But if you would have been a little bit closer, so here, if you didn't back off the side, you might have been able to. I know you're trying to avoid the down, but you might have been able to get up in the air and get a more of a powerful shot. But in my opinion, if you are doing this, wait, literally wait, don't go yet. And as it sort of as you get closer, do a double jump pop and just pop it into the air. Make them react, because they've just took a kickoff. So their boost is going to be low. So if we can pop the ball high, it gives us an advantage. Now, how does it? If we pop the ball high with a double pop here, they have to go up. Okay, because we're going to put the ball high. Hopefully it comes down in this area. Hopefully. It gives us vision. They have to tend to the ball. Whenever you do these sort of things, they have to tend to this, because it could be a goal. So as soon as we pop it up high, we can then focus on the boosts. And while we're watching them, we can quickly flick in and out and grab the boost, maybe grab a big... When we see where they're going to try and direct it, we can grab that big boost pad. Now we have possession. We have the boost. And they are still stuck in there. And that is where we can bring the ball across here. Maybe go for a re-hook shot and stuff like that. So I like that you try to shoot this. But in this situation, you're just trying to catch up a little bit too much, which makes it a bit easier to save. And that momentum allows Rob, because you push it forward, watch this, you push it, so when he does a jump here, it actually gets a lot of power on it. Now, if you did a double jump, it would have had more of an arc, so he would have had to create the power to defend it. So little lob balls with low momentum on them, like little rainbow arcers, they're really, really good, because you force the defender to have to make the clear. And there's a difference between making a save and making a clear. A little bit of, yeah, just a little bit of mechanical misplay there. I like that you didn't overcommit into their corner there. You possibly could have speed flipped to their boost before then, but that was smart. Nice inside shadow there. Maybe a demo. Nice drive, yeah. So a drive-by or a demo off of that would have been good. That works fine. So yeah, these sort of drive challenges are really good in these situations when there's low risk. Whenever you see a person cutting into the ball like that, a drive challenge is usually a pretty good idea. Because one, you're definitely going to get a chunk of the action. It's not going to put you out. You'll be able to turn and recover. But also there's a high chance that you get the demo. You didn't get the demo there. Let's actually see why. It might have been that you stopped boosting and you turned away after the collision with the ball. You have collision with the ball. It slows you down instantly. And then when you actually hit them. So you just had to boost a bit more through the ball. And turn sort of into it a bit. And you would have got the demo as well. But that ends in a goal either way. So very nice work. Actually, you know, and this is the difference. You can see the difference in the quality defensively from goal to plat, but we're still seeing a few mistakes, and we don't need to get advanced yet. So this is not bad at all. This is decent gameplay. Right, where's your opponent? I'm going to tell you, you don't know, do you? You don't know where your opponent is, and you're sitting on the wall. Let's look at this from Rob's perspective. Look at this. Look how much time he has to hit you there. We need to know where he is, so we can jump. If we know where he is, if we used our camera, we could have quickly flashed behind earlier on, see what boost he was going to. So right here, flash behind, where is he going? Okay, perfect. Come here. If we know what he's doing, right, because he's got two options here. Right, he's got a few really, but he can either come around the outside or he can come off. So if we come out for the ball and we look behind and they're coming this way, then what we can do is we can grab this and turn here. If they're coming this way, we can grab the boost, come round the back like this. It's a sneaky move because they're going to come across. Now, as we're going around the back, because we sort of come here. So as Rob's coming this way, and we've looked behind and we know he's coming for us here. Instead, we just jump off and face this way. Now, he's got two choices now. Does he either go everything into us, right? Now, keep this in mind. Look where the ball is. So if he gives everything into us, we can continue to drive and actually go in a circle and come back around. And that'll kill his momentum or make him use all of his boost. Or his other choice he has, as he's coming back, so we see him coming back looking for the demo. We're like, okay, he's coming around the outside for the demo. We'll come inside like this, sort of here, ready to maybe turn, depending on what happens. Because he might go straight to the ball. And if he does go straight to the ball, most likely, as people do now, they just seem to smack the ball. If he smacks the ball, we can go over here, we can grab this boost, or we can come out a little bit and get into a position ready to shoot. Depending on how hard he hit the ball, if he stays with the ball, then we can threaten and do fakes and shadow and all of that good stuff. So yeah, there we don't really want to just sit in an obvious position. Because, and you're probably thinking, yeah, but that was just a demo, you've been a bit over the top, Dave. That led to a goal, guys. So that was not over the top at all. That was a nice little baby hook. See, that's why hook shots and stuff like this are so good. Because of the way they accelerate the ball. It doesn't look like much when you watch it from that perspective. When we watch it from the defender's perspective, slow, 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 boom. Hard to react to. That's a baby hook. So here, as soon as you get demoed like this, you had a great spawn. You spawned on the same side right away. What are they doing? Well, the ball is grounded again, which means they can only put the ball in one spot. Are you following me? We can be a much more sort of risky when the ball's grounded. Right now, here's what we do. We spawn, we're facing the ball. We go, oh my God, it's a miracle. We come at the ball like this. We now put in a fake, boom, like this. Once we put in the fake, we now know, right? Once we've got this, the fake is to give us a way to either force their hand, but also to get us closer to the action. So we're here, right? Now it's all about watching their nameplate. I know exactly where his nameplate is. So I want his nameplate to always be hidden. I want it always to be hidden when I'm in this position. Because if his nameplate's hidden, my nameplate's hidden. But if his nameplate is hidden, that means he is perfectly behind the ball. Zip, you see? And if he's perfectly behind the ball, and I'm perfectly behind the ball, he can only hit it to me. Or let it roll. And that's where people do fakes. So that's why you want to come right behind the ball, make their nameplate disappear, and then our nose is angled to where the ball is going. And then we've seen him go across, so we go across again. Oh, we've seen him go across, so we go across. And obviously, I'm reacting to this, but it would be much more fluid in game. And boom. Now we've got the challenge on the ball. That works really well. Okay, so in those situations, get to them. Honestly, if they've got the ball and they are carrying the ball like this, pushing the ball, you can be lots more aggressive, but you still want to fake because you want to make them react. You don't want to ever give anyone a free push. It's a good goal from Rob there. Smart stuff. Well, that's better because you jumped on that kickoff and that actually gave you a bit of security. We won't get over the, sort of go into like better kickoffs as of yet. It's something we don't need to do yet. So this was fine. Come around the ball like that and just shooting it straight away. Good stuff there. Bit of a defensive error, but still, I like that you've done that. You took the opportunity. You saw the opening potentially, and you put it in. Yeah, your diagonal is actually a really good kickoff there. It's working well for you. That's it. I was hoping you would do that. Okay. Look at this fake. This is what I call a lazy fake. You didn't boost on the way back. So when you go for the fake here, very dynamic. So they can take the shot, and you actually have to put a bit of effort into it, and you have to reach for it again. The idea of a good fake is two things. Let's just ask ourselves, even though Rob hit it, did we sell this fake? Did we sell that fake? Or if Rob was watching you a little bit harder, would they have just caught the ball? That's the first thing. I personally don't think you sold this fake. I don't think the timing was right. Let's have a look at it. It doesn't really sell. You've done it early, look. And I'm driving off. Now I know you're shadowing. The other thing is, why would I be bothered even if you were driving to the ball in this situation? You're not even boosting. So you haven't created any threat. So the first thing in this fake is we need to make it seem real. We need to make it seem active. But what's even more important than the fake is what you do after the fake. The idea of a fake is to make them shoot the ball. We know that. That's why we fake. We didn't fake for no reason. That's the idea of a fake. We want to make them play the ball. So we fake with no boost, even though we got 100. And we only start boosting once the ball starts to come in an awkward spot. This is not what we want to do. What we need to do instead, here, we're going for a fake. Right now, I'm boosting at the ball. I'm boosting. And as I come here, I'm going to boost away like this. And I'm now here, right? And now I'm going to catch the ball. I'm going to be able to catch it because I'm going to be able to keep supersonic on my fake. I can catch the ball and do whatever. All right? So if you're going to fake, at least boost through your fake or boost on the way back, at least just so you're ready for that so you don't end up sort of giving them the ball away. Yeah, great shot. I kind of like what you were doing here. You didn't get too caught into the trap of going into the corner. But again, do you remember what we talked about last episode? You're right on the front post here, which I don't mind. I usually say, you want to sort of defend the front post to force them to make a shot. But as we go through, when the ball comes out, what happens if we stay here is we end up... Rob's done a great job the way he played this. He played you well. I don't know if he was reacting to you, but that's exactly what he should have done. He now has given himself a bigger angle. So this is what you want to do. If you're on the offense, here's a little tip for you. If Rob shoots this now, okay, look at his target size. It's not very big, is it? It's not very big at all. It's a weird target size. If he lets the ball roll out, which he does, and it comes out, and he sort of lets it get to about here, doesn't he? He does a good job. I think he takes a shot here. Look at the difference in target size. He gets over double the amount. Look at all this extra target size he's got. So this is why you always want to try and get the ball scraping off the walls and taking it out to give yourself a bigger target. So this is why you don't want to shoot when the ball's here. In twos as well, because you're never going to achieve anything out of that. You always want to give yourself a bigger target. So that was great by Rob for doing that. So how do we prevent this from your perspective? That's what people are going to be thinking, right? Rob just played that perfectly. Is it defendable? Yeah, it's defendable. So when we come here, we land. This is fine. You didn't get baited into the corner. What happens if I sit here? And I'm waiting. Vroom, and I've got it. Okay. I know it sounds simple. And I know that if I'm here, they've also got the shot there. But once you've gone into this position, that's all you can really do. I mean, literally, I got to say, this was played to perfection. So yeah, you got to just say, sometimes you got to say fair play. That was a really well played shot, but it is hard to defend on a face out like that. Brilliant kickoff. Yeah, good finish as well. Yep, not too bad. Do you know what? I thought you might have missed that for a second. Really nicely done. I like that fake challenge. Okay, again, what am I going to say about this fake? You could have boosted here a little bit. So here, Boost. Give yourself time. Give yourself time. If we boost now, we're here. And I'm boosting. And I collect the ball here. And I collect it and I'm scooping. I'm watching for Rob here. Okay, I've scooped the ball now. Mind you, it's flick this way. Boom, power shot. But we play it into the corner. Now it actually, you know, he's got the boost. But you've got boost as well. So I want to see how you play this. Nice bounce dribble. Good timing from the challenge by Rob there. And what you want to do in your head is you want to make a note of that. He's challenging me right on the bounce. And he does a double jump. So he goes right on the bounce. So now, next time we get in a position like this, we can do the exact same thing. We're bouncing. Here we'll boost more. We'll boost more right now, so we're under the ball. And then we'll do a falling side flip shot, which is blue belt 2, I believe, which is the power shots. The second part of the pack, which is the falling power shot. As he would have came in, it would already be going towards the top of the net. So that's something you can do. Always write a note down in your head of when they challenge. Some people like to challenge as soon as you've got a bounce going. So everyone's different. Always make a note of it. All right, here we go. So now... Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. So right here, that was a really interesting pop. I'm not going to lie. That pop doesn't look right. It sort of... You hit that just so perfectly that it pops it high. But again, he was going a little bit different now. So that time he went a little bit different. But, boom. And if you went for the shot straight away, probably would have got it. So it's depending on space. It looked like he flew into that quite early, but that was really good. I can't say anything wrong about that. That was brilliant. And I like how you're analysing him as you go. You know, you're watching him. This is what you need to do. You need to watch him. Because that time he did actually challenge at a different cadence. And that's situational. That was just because he had further to go. This isn't really a mechanical misplay. I mean, this is a mechanical thing. You've done a good job of getting the pads. At higher levels, you're going to go for that. But you're going to sort of come a little bit earlier and go onto the wall here, most likely. So you can actually touch it away and get outward momentum. And it's up to you on that one. Do you continually go for these? Personally, I mean, it's something you're going to have to build in to be able to tap those and get possession and go. Mechanical misplay, if you wanted to play it safe, there was no harm in waiting because the ball's on the outside of the wall. So, I mean, it depends what you want to do. If you want to play, you know, sort of the no mechanic style, you can literally just flip here and wait. And then as it sort of comes, you can come forward and get possession. There's no harm in that. I definitely would recommend that for twos because everyone does exactly what you did. Although they shouldn't miss, you know, it is one of those things. It's a mechanical thing. But if you're ever playing twos, make sure you are in this position as a second man because your teammate will go for it. And most likely missing the corner. Corners are difficult to read, but as you get higher up, you should be hitting those anyway. So it's kind of like something you do want to practice and go for, I suppose. Mechanical misplay, but if you really didn't have mechanics and you didn't feel comfortable doing that, you can do that position in the net, and that'll work fine, and you'll still win games and rank up. Good. Right, that was the correct decision. To not go into the corner for boost. Yep, nice low 50. This is exactly what I'm talking about. So this is really good from you here. Even though you didn't get around the ball's here. You do a single jump. A little bit high in my opinion with that single jump. So a little bit awkward. But the ball's dead here. This is why I always tell everyone. Create a cushion and single jump. And this is why you win this. This is an example of a perfect 50-50. Collector's got a cushion. Okay? Approximately 1.5 car lengths. Which is where you need, you know, depending on the momentum of the opponent. So this is fine. As the ball comes in, Collector's now completely opposite the opponent. But the difference between the opponent and Collector is that Collector has a cushion. But not only that, a small cushion doesn't have to be too big. They are single jumping. Now, what have we spoke about with people challenging the ball? First thing people do when they challenge the ball, oftentimes, they will pop the ball up. They will hit it low, which lifts the ball. So if we are ahead of them in the air, they possibly won't see that from their position. Maybe they do. But what will happen is the ball will lift now from Rob, and Collector has the single jump, gets that touch over the top, and it literally is a clear ball. So really incorporate that into your game, guys. It's something I used a lot in the No Mechanics 1v1 Series 2 Grand Champ, was just single jumps on the push. Because people always push. The big thing is, obviously people use, now are starting to incorporate more drive challenges. You sort of have to go with the way the game develops and what becomes sort of the meta. Now, I mean, due to Flake series, a lot of people are starting to use drive challenges, and a really good way to get around that is that single jump method when you do have possession of the ball, but you should always be single jumping behind the ball in my opinion. And that's almost a perfect 50 because it goes straight towards the net. You just couldn't catch it. But that gives you a huge advantage. If you did it closer, that would have been a goal. So really good decision. Nice fakes. Right. This is great play from Rob again. Right here. Too much. Too much. Because we haven't completed our first fake. Look at this. This is a fake. Perfect. This is... Well, we need to turn more for it to fake because our nose right now is just facing the side wall. So if we linger here... where's me fly gun? If we linger, what can we do? Because our nose can only go this way. If they shoot, we've got to go, oh no, and it's going to be a goal. Because it's much quicker for us to go from here to here than it is for us to go, oh no. You see? So that's another thing. Make sure your nose turns the right way. Right here, you've done a fake, but again, this is way too close to no man's land. No man's land. What is no man's land? No man's land is the area where you can literally do nothing on the ball. Okay? Where you cannot challenge it. So you're not close enough to challenge it, but you're also not far enough away to make the save. This is no man's land. The ultimate fake brings us into no man's land for a fraction of a second to make it more believable. What happens here? We just hang out a bit too much and we don't have any fear. We should always have fear. Our nose needs to be actively moving to where we need to go. We flash our fakes, we use it for nameplate manipulation to get the nameplate closer, then we are facing away and we are boosting away to create space. If we did that, you can see it now from a different bird's eye perspective, guys. This is great from collecting that first fake because they sort of flash potentially into no man's land, but they would have been ready to catch the ball here. Again, not too bad here. Right now, another little fake comes in, each one edging them closer. Now, what's happened in that time is Rob has been able to create space for this hit. And right here, this is another good little fake, so we just turn straight away because we faked. We need to finish the fake off because we don't know if they're going to hit it. Because if we did a good job, they should be hitting it. But instead now, watch this mistake we make. We'll slow it down. We turn back in after the fake, and then we go for a refake. We got too greedy on the fake, and that area we were just in was no man's land. Okay. It's something I do a lot, this is. Car impact is coming across to, let's just go a little bit further ahead. Our impact spark is on the right hand side of the ball. So you can see it from, because you always just go from the middle pretty much. So you can see our impact is on the right hand side, which means that we need to be flipping to the left to put our car across the block. Instead we get our car impact and we actually flip the other way, removing our hitbox from behind the ball, and Rob's able to get the opening there. So just a little thing on the kickoffs, and that'll be a goal. Yeah, better kickoff in my opinion. Do you need boost? Do you need boost, or do you need to tell him this is your ball? Well, I'm going to tell you. You need to tell him this is your ball. From his perspective, he's not even looking actually. He needs to know that this is your ball. If you would have been more active on the ball here, he would not turn and dive like this. But you're too far away. So right now, that's your ball. You've got 85 boost. We don't need any more boost. Don't need any more boost. Instead here, I'm here. I'm jumping and I'm boosting like upwards, like I'm going to hit that. That's going to back him off. And I come down and I hit it because he would have backed off there. But instead, again, just a little bit lazy with the boost here, I'd say. Look, we're driving to the ball with no boost. We boost at the end, which is like something we don't want to do because we are boosting as we close it. So as he's getting closer to the ball, we then decide to boost, which is going to put us more out of the position where the ball's about to go because he's definitely beating you here. He's initiated way before you have. And now you jump. This is, again, down to you not paying attention to your opponent, which is the big thing. Remember, you've only got one other player on the pitch. There is literally only Rob to beat here. So we need to keep our eye on him all the time. Right, he is turned. We should already have been boosting to that anyway. We should have been like here. Right, he's turned. Boom, we can come here. We can let him hit that. Great. Thank you for the free possession. I'll just wait here, get a little touch, see what he's going to do. Instant flick maybe. So just instead, look how far out of the play we are. You get back in time, but that could have been more dangerous than it was. And again, what are you doing? This is something, see, this is the reason I'm really pointing this out is because you always tell me that hook shots are impossible. You're the one more than anyone else who tells me you cannot hook shot in Platinum. You've had about 4 opportunities to go for a hook shot or a bounce dribble, and each time you're boosting and smacking the ball away. Here's another perfect example of it. I mean, what you could have done here, really, you could have probably just quickly got the ball on top of the car because of how in line they are. But once you see Rob turn there, you don't need to boost and hit the ball. You've got distance, you've got space. The last thing we want to do, why waste our reserves to move the ball forward if we literally have been given space, right? They've backed off, they've given us space. Stop boosting to the ball. You've got the space now. We don't need to boost to the ball. We can preserve this. Okay, I'm here, I'm watching them. I might just let the ball scoop up onto my car. As long as I'm here, I can still see them. When they turn, I might flick it because they've got an inside shadow. Or if they turn, I might drop it, look for a low 50, single jump into it. Or if they start to, because I've been so patient, if they start to turn to the outside, you see how he turned to the outside, but then you shot it? If he turns to the outside, then I will just come across here. I will single jump and boost to push the ball across here. And I will have all of this open space. It's crazy how much space you can get on this game. Bam, boom. There is the bounce dribble power shot. So this is something you do a lot, Collector, is you accelerate the ball towards your opponent as opposed to looking to create a play. There's a huge difference. Pushing the ball at the net is not creating a play. That's essentially giving the ball back to them. You are making it even easier for them. And I'm going to prove that. Let's see it from Rob's perspective. Right, he's thinking, oh God, how's he going to... It looks like he's going to cut the ball. Oh, he's pushed it right at me. Well, now I can close him down easy because the ball's coming to me. Look how easy it is for Rob to just put his car in the middle of this. See how he can literally just turn and block where you've gone? Because you've pushed the ball right into him. He blocks spot opposite the ball, sees your nameplate, so he wants to center up your nameplate and jump. Exactly the right thing to do. And he's going to get the finish as well. Why did that happen? Am I being like, wow, that was a good challenge? Nah, well, it was a good challenge, but you gave him a challenge. You gave him an easy challenge because you literally are pushing the ball out. Create more angles. Take your time. Slow down. That would be my big advice for you. Okay, so this is something we see a lot in Platinum. It seems to be that players are getting much better defensively as well. They're getting into really good shadow position. I mean, these guys, they've been doing this system for a while, so their shadowing, in my opinion, is better than the average Platinum. I'm going to say that with bias possibly, but it's true. But I do feel it's the offensive play here from Collector that does sort of let them down more than the defense. Because really, there are a few advanced defensive methods, but what you learn early on, you just want to get even more crisp at, basically, and just get better reads on the opponent, which does come from time, and that's why I always recommend just literally doing 1v1s and only shadowing and fake challenging. And that way you'll get used to where no man's landed and stuff like, and stuff like that. But offensively, always keep it simple and just work on the fundamentals, and you'll have a lot of fun with it. See, that's fine. This is okay. That's not bad, right? So when you get space here like this is something you can absolutely do if you know they're backing off. You can smack it against the sidewall to get under it. So this I don't mind at all. And then the double jump. That was actually a really good offensive try. Like, it was different. A different look than you'd been giving him. Shame you just didn't, like, getting around the ball and shooting wasn't ideal there. I mean, it was a good idea, but you just didn't have the sort of the mechanic. That's fine, don't go up for this. Okay, you don't need to go up for this. This is great. Now we need to go, what's Rob doing? As soon as we hit the ball in the air, okay, especially when it's this close, right? The reason I say what's Rob doing, if this was softer, I would recommend, yeah, let's go up for an air dribble. Because if we start air dribbling it, we can see the opponent. We can maybe come out and go for a bump. But when we hit it like this, we know with the speed we've hit it, and it's not just me, because I've been playing the game and watching replays a long time. I think a lot of you guys know that's going forward quite a lot. That's a big distance. This is fine if you do it here and Rob's in the same position. And you can get up and then look and then again maybe go for a double touch. But we know that this is either going to hit the backboard or drop just at the crossbar. And that's when we want to wait. Because we want to force Rob. These are the plays. This is what you want to do. You want to pop the ball high and wait. Right, what's he going to do? Ah, free goal. Just because I was patient. Pop the ball high, yes. But don't go after it. There's no need to go after it. It's a 1v1. Pop the ball high. Let them make a save. Watch them. Watch your opponent. Okay. Is Rob going to clear it to this side? As soon as I pop it, this is what I'm looking at. I pop it. Is he going to come and save it to this side? Didn't look like it because of the way his nameplate accelerated too fast. So I'll wait here. There's a free goal. If his nameplate is in the right spot, then, boom, I'm going for this. He'll come past me. I'll have no boost. And I'll still be able to, obviously, it would come more here. Get the finish. Okay? So don't go up for things unnecessarily. Even with that many seconds left, you would have actually scored and you would have gave yourself a never kickoff chance. Because I would have put that in, right? I'll tell you when. Because I wouldn't have gone up. Boom. Bam. I would have had about 3 seconds left. That's a kickoff, carry, catch. You could still have won this game or at least took it into overtime. All right? They're really good. They're really, really good, but still a lot of mistakes. Preferably, I would say for yourself, work on your bounce, dribble, power shots, or your flicks just straight into them. And don't go up for the aerials unnecessarily. And when you fake, mean it. Fake, really fake and mean the fake. Go and boost into the fake, boost out of the fake. Don't sort of just semi-commit for a fake because that'll never work. I mean, it's literally the same. I always go back to basketball because I played it so much, but there are players that cannot fake shoot. Like, they just do the worst fake shot and the defender just looks at them. Then look at Kobe Bryant. He's practically raising. Look at Michael Jordan, how he used to like put the ball up and just hold it with his hand and palm it. There's a difference between a fake and a fake. You know what I'm saying? So when you fake. Make them believe it's happening and get back, all right? Hopefully that's how we're going to be doing the 2v2 one next, and then we will release the episode for what we need to be working on to get through Platinum, guys. Do really appreciate it. Thank you again for all the support, and look after yourself. Have a nice life, and peace out. Peace.